On this week's show, Liberty Lacrosse plays for a title, and we get a taste of life on the recruiting trail with Liberty softball.
Plus, we hear from the man leading the Liberty quarterbacks and go out of the office with LU volleyball. It's all coming at you now on this edition of Flame Central.
It's a beautiful day in Central Virginia, so we figured we'd take the show outside. Welcome to Flame Central, your home for all things Liberty athletics. She's Emily, I'm Matt. Today we come to you from high above campus at Liberty's College of Osteopathic Medicine.
Yeah, they won't tell you, but we got kicked out of the studio with it being graduation weekend, and campus is buzzing. There was also plenty of excitement around Flames Nation this past weekend as Liberty Lacrosse played in the ASUN championship game.
Yeah, Liberty Lacrosse looking for its first ever ASUN title and NCAA tournament berth, but to do it, they'd have to get by an old nemesis in Jacksonville. The Flames had lost to the Dolphins in this same game each of the past 3 years, but after beating JU earlier this season, Liberty liked their chances, and a flurry of Flames goals in the second quarter would help too, as Liberty scored 7 times to take a 9-7 lead into the half. After Jacksonville would respond with a 5-1 advantage in the third quarter, Liberty found itself down 12-10 heading into the fourth, but that's when Cammie Merkel took over. Cammie clutch, scoring back-to-back goals to tie it at 13-all. Then with 2.5 seconds remaining, Merkel would get a free position shot to win it, and it hits off the crossbar, that close to a title. Instead, we'd head to sudden death overtime, and that was when Jacksonville's Brianna Samuels would sneak one in. A heartbreaking end to an incredible game and an incredible season for Liberty Lacrosse as they fall 14-13.
Still such a great season for them. Okay, staying with the ladies, but heading over to the Diamond. Liberty played its final 3-game regular season series on the road at Queens. To put it lightly, the Lady Flames took care of business in the first 2 matchups, holding Queens scoreless while LU racked up a combined 18 runs. But somehow, the Lady Flames found themselves trailing by 2 in the top of the 5th in the final game until ASUN Player of the Week, Rachel Roop, drops one in shallow left center. That will score 2, and we have a tied ball game. But that doesn't last long. Top 6, no outs. Megan Fortner leaves the yard with this shot, giving Liberty the lead. That marked her 8th homer of the season. Later in the 6th, talk about a rally. It's the ASUN Player of the Year. Back-to-back seasons. Caroline Hudson wants to join in on the fun. You know, Huddy's jersey number is 14. Well, that was her 14th home run of the season. Coincidence? I think not. Liberty goes on to get the series sweep with the final score in Game 3, 14-2. The postseason is upon us as the Lady Flames will begin the ASUN Championship up next. But before we get into postseason play, just a reminder, you don't finish the regular season with 37 wins, not to mention multiple top 25 victories, without having top talent on the roster. The players don't just come out of nowhere and land right here on the mountain. The recruiting process takes a lot of time, a lot of hard work, a lot of travel, and did I mention a lot of time? Don't believe me? Here's a behind-the-scenes look into recruiting with LU softball.
All right, I like what I'm hearing about these, but what about the transfer portal? What do we need in the transfer portal?
We have a couple kids that are on here that I'm really interested in.
Yeah, but wait, look who just got on.
Oh,
man.
Coachy.
Woo! You got to be kidding me. All right, let me get on the phone. That is amazing. Come on. Yeah, make sure you email. The recruiting process can be exhausting.
There's a lot of sacrifices that you make when you're recruiting. What you're eating, how much you're sleeping.
It's really a rat race a lot of times.
500 teams at one tournament.
Ready, set, go.
We're trying to make sure it makes sense geographically for us. Driving from field to field, watching games from 8 a.m. to sometimes 10 o'clock at night.
You just get used to that lifestyle, right? And my husband is like, okay, here we go. you know? And so for me as a head coach, I can send out assistants.
It's just definitely a mindset you have to get into. You have to be like, okay, like I'm done with my team for now. I'm setting them aside. What do I need to look for us to be able to compete 3 or 4 years from now?
You have to plan, and watching these athletes, see the ones that have already verbally committed to you, see the ones that are coming up in the fall that have signed national letter of intents, and you got to show your support and see where they're at so you know what your squad is going to look like, your roster in the fall. Then you got to look at those this year's 25s and be ready on September 1st to call the ones that you want, because the good ones, their phone is going to be ringing off the hook, and you want to be the first to get to them. I'm going to call the coach right now, okay? Then you also come back after an event and you get together. After these tournaments, you come together as a staff and say, who did you like? Who do you not like? Put the 5 stars, 4, 3, 2, 1s. Then you get ready for the next weekend, and then the next weekend, and then the next weekend. Then you have clinics that you could do that third parties put together. Maybe it's right before a camp. The newest thing that has been introduced to recruiting is the transfer portal. Any student athlete at an institution, no matter what division, can go to a transfer portal and you get updates. You can look and see who's on there, who's transferring. Once when they're on this transfer portal, then you can talk to them. That now has added a new dimension to recruiting, because then you can get a college player who's established, like you know her numbers. You got to jump on those transfer portal athletes quickly. When you recruit a prospective student athlete, you try and know so much about them, not just on the field, but what are they like as an individual? What is their character? What about their family makeup? How they treat other people, right? Including when you're watching them on the field, teammates. So it's more than just athletic ability. Can they hit the ball or pitch the ball? Can they field the ball? You know, they're gonna have the athleticism, but also buy in a way where they'll impact us on the field. Because you have to look at the makeup of a player and how that will fit into the team that you have and the culture that you currently have. But also, if you're wanting to change that culture and move into the future to meet your vision, is this a player that will get you there? Do they have a passion for the game? That's what I look at. Who is going to be a player that's going to bleed red, white, and blue? The most important thing to us is that you are able to experience the Lord and get to know Him better. I'm looking for athletes, student athletes, that want to be the best they can be and recognize that God has given them the gift to do that. And that you are an individual that wants to seize the opportunities that are before you. God's given you this gift to play a sport, and through it, are you getting closer to Him? And are you honoring Him by expressing your gifts, both on and off the field, at the highest level that pleases Him? We're able to play whoever we want to play. It doesn't matter what conference we're in, we're going to play all of the conferences. We are going to compete at the highest level. Are you prepared for that challenge?
Well, it's such a fun look at recruiting. Thanks to Helmut Montoya for producing that piece. I have to think recruiting is a little easier these days for Liberty softball, given all the success they've had here in recent years.
Yeah, and it seems pretty chaotic as well when you see someone jumping in the portal and just figuring out, how do we get her? How do we get her? But also, Dot Richardson is your head coach. That can't hurt, right, Matt?
Legend.
She's an absolute legend, and she's going to put a staff together around this program to find the best talent out there.
And facilities, they don't hurt either. They're some of the best in the country. All right, we go from softball now, turning to baseball. Liberty trying to stay in the ASUN tournament picture, and this past weekend would help. The Flames would take 2 of 3 from the visiting Jacksonville State Gamecocks. After getting worked over in game number 1, the Flames bounced back in a big way. specifically Game 3, when Liberty stormed back from an 8-2 deficit with an 11-run inning.
Woo.
With the wins, Liberty moves to 12-12 in A-Sun play. Now, we mentioned the postseason. Remember, only the top 8 teams in the A-Sun get to take part in the conference tournament. And right now, Liberty is part of a 3-way tie for 8th place. They're walking the tightrope. With just 2 regular season series remaining, the Flames need a strong finish to lock up a postseason spot. Hopefully, taking 2 of 3 from Jacksonville State is a step in the right direction.
Oh, we'll have to see how it all shakes out. Let's hit the links, shall we? Liberty men's golf just captured their 7th conference title in program history after winning the A-Sun Championship in record-breaking fashion with the lowest team 54-hole total ever. Many thanks to standout history maker, individual A-Sun champ, Jonathan Yon, also known as JY to his close friends. Now that the Flames are heading to Michigan for regionals, we were curious to find out more from our buddy JY on the Flames Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage.
What do you know about Michigan? You said you've played up there before.
They got nice courses, right?
They got nice courses over there. But yeah, regionals in Michigan, I think, hey, it's Northeast golf, basically, a little more Midwest, but I mean, it has that same feel, and we're not too far away from there in Virginia. So I think it's one of the closer regionals that host, and we've played against Michigan State a good amount. And for some reason, everyone's games just gets hot this time of year. It's always a fun time to play.
Well, was it 10 of 11 years you guys have made an NCAA regional? I think it is, or
yeah.
yeah,
it's gotta be something like that.
This isn't like. You think about, when the team finally breaks through and reaches the postseason like this, sometimes everyone's like, oh, I don't know what to expect.
For you guys,
this is like, just put it on the calendar before the season. We're going to be busy this week.
100%.
Like, it's just like you're not, it's not going to blow you away when you get up there. You're used to it.
No, we're 100% used to it. Yeah, every year we expect to go.
I'm sure you already listen to the Flames Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage each and every week. But if you like entertainment, you might want to watch it on YouTube this week because Joe Yock doesn't waste any time getting some golf lessons and swing fixes from JY. It's good stuff. If you haven't already checked us out, you can find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, Spotify, Apple, Google, YouTube. We are there.
Don't just listen to the show, be a part of it. You can submit questions to our Flames Central podcast mailbag. They can be about Liberty athletics or really anything that you find interesting. The best question each week will win a Flames Central podcast mug. So submit your best questions today by sending them to flamescentral@liberty.edu. Finally, some huge news for Liberty basketball. On Tuesday, it was announced that LU will be a part of the Field of 68 tip-off event for the next 3 seasons. This new event is a round-robin series featuring FAU, Charleston, and the Flames. This guarantees Liberty 2 really good games each of the next 3 years. This season, it will be hosted at FAU, next year at Charleston, and finally, Liberty will host in 2025. This should be a great event and a great stage for 3 of the best mid-major programs in the country. Coming up, who will be Liberty's quarterback? We don't know, but we do know who's coaching them, and we mic'd him up.
Plus, we celebrate the top athletes of the week with a new Warm, Hot, and Fuego. That's when Flame Central returns.
A college degree is more than a diploma. It's taking control of your future and finding that next step. At Liberty University, we not only care about your career, we also care about your calling. And we want to help you learn, develop, and grow so you can make an impact as a champion for Christ. Over 600 online programs, one you, infinite possibilities.
God's calling for your life can be specific, and at Liberty, we are committed to equipping you to pursue that calling. Choose from more than 350 unique programs of study, or design your own major through interdisciplinary studies and be confident your major is the perfect fit. No matter how specific your calling, you'll find a program of study to match at Liberty University and become your best as a champion for Christ.
Does education mean a room with 4 walls, a desk, and a PowerPoint lecture?
Or is it something bigger?
What if it's the people beside you, 1 chair away or 1 ocean away?
What if it's the chance to learn from your mistakes, as well as your victories, and the push to keep going either way? What if it's the freedom to reach for bigger things without missing the little ones in between?
For each of us, education looks a bit different.
Because we're each a bit different.
But at Liberty, we think education might just mean something big enough for all of us. That's Liberty to us.
What will Liberty be to you?
Welcome back to Flames Central. The calendar might say May, but it's always about football around here on the mountain. Co-offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach Willie Korn is a big part of this new staff. And let's just say he has his hands full to start the Chadwell chapter here on the mountain. Not only is he teaching this new offense to the players, but those guys happen to be, well, the most important position on the field. Good news, he has plenty of students in his room.
Let's go have some fun. Let's go score some points today, yeah? Back.
When you play quarterback, it's not a position, it's a lifestyle. Everybody's watching your every single move, every single action, every single rep in the weight room, every team run that you do. And it's not like wide receiver, you're rotating guys, multiple guys are playing. Quarterback, it's a position where only one guy plays. I think to me, it says a lot about the culture of your team by how the quarterbacks in that position meeting room interact with each other. And if you show that the team is above your own individual path, you know, I think that makes a huge impact on your team, and it speaks to the culture of your team.
There you go, good ball.
The guy that I always wanted to emulate as a coach was my high school baseball coach. He made me feel like I was gonna get drafted by the New York Yankees one day, because when I did something right, when I did something correctly, there was excitement. He shouted praise. That's what I wanted to try and emulate as a coach.
Great ball, Evan! Great ball, atta boy!
When they do something right, that's when I want you to hear me.
Hey, heck of a ball right there on that wheel route, buddy. Heck of a ball right there. Yeah.
We have to make wise decisions on what plays we're trying to major in and what plays we're not trying to major in.
Slide out to him, there you go. Got a chance to get it off.
I don't think you can come in and say, well, this is how we did it at Coastal, this is how we're gonna do it, and you gotta fit to that. And if they can't fit that, then we're blockheads if we just say, oh, well, they can't figure it out, they can't do it. So it's our jobs to find out what those things they are really good at, what things they're comfortable with, and major in that.
Running back will get a piece of them, and then you can get that throw off. Good on that.
The time that we're all here in this point in history of Liberty football going into the Conference USA and what the program's done these last 4 years in independent it's been amazing. Every time I drive up to campus and I drive by the Death Star, the indoor practice facility, that's what I call it, you know, you got to pinch yourself a little bit. I really get to work here? Are you kidding me? Like, we get to have this at our disposal?
Hey, good spot there.
But you can't hang your hat on that, because that's not what truly makes the difference. What makes the difference is the people, and we've got great people here on the staff. Coaching have all been together for a really long time. So I think that's a big part of it too.
They zone you off, set up, give him a shot. Hey, good ball, back to back right there, trending up.
Can't wait to see what Willie Korn does with those Liberty quarterbacks. All right, Rhett McGivens here. He found us out here. Appreciate that, Rhett, tracking us down. Time for Warm, Hot, and Fuego, top player moment in the past week here at Liberty Athletics. Rhett, we start off with Warm. Who we got today?
Yeah, we're looking here softball for the first two, actually. Okay. Rachel Roop is going to lead us off for Warm. Not only the ASUN Player of the Week, but also getting some national recognition.
And back-to-back Warm, Hot, and Fuegos, too. That's pretty big deal.
She's turned into that kind of player. Yeah. She is for Liberty softball, has blossomed into a star here in her sophomore season. Extra inning softball Player of the Week, national recognition. Wow. That is huge. She batted .500 this past week.
Unbelievable.
2 doubles, 4 home runs,
Okay.
13 RBI, slugging percentage so high I can't even reach it. Like the young lady was swinging a sweet stick when it matters most for the Flames, trying to stay in that number 2 position in the A-Sun. A very good conference this year in softball is the A-Sun. A lot of people not realizing that, but hey, they're in the thick of it right now. And this young lady, back-to-back with Huddy in the lineup, she is taking advantage of that spot in the number 4 hole.
Yeah, and really peaking at the right time of the season, too, getting hot when it matters most. All right, from warm, we go to hot. Who's your choice?
And that's Caroline Hudson.
Huddy.
Player of the year in the A-Sun, back-to-back seasons, the general on the back end for the Flames behind home plate. This young lady, she gets it done with the bat, right?
No
we
doubt.
talk about that. Leads the A-Sun in home runs, had 49 RBI this season. She was absolutely terrific, but the arm also. People aren't running on her. You may think, okay, maybe she had a down year defensively. No. Other teams respect the gun that she has attached to her right shoulder. That is exactly what's going on here. And you talk to other coaches like, what do you think about Liberty's catcher? Well, it's going to change our run game a little bit on the base pass because we have to respect the fact that it is really difficult to reach second when she's behind home plate.
Yeah, has had a great career, certainly. All right, finally, Rhett, in Fuego, the top honor goes to who?
Well, it goes to a friend of the show, a young lady that I hear might get a job with Flame Central.
I know what you're talking about. Lizzie Ferguson.
That's right, Lizzie Ferguson. What a career she has had and what a season she had. First Liberty athlete in women's lacrosse to get All-American honors and a mention there. And just what a season. Let's go through some of the details here with it. I want to get to the offense here really quick. 33 goals, 49 points. That's third in both categories for Liberty. But then when it comes to the draw controls, right, her bread and butter, 182 this season. That was a team high, a program high, right? 9.58 per game. That's third nationally. And then also over the career, 288, which is, again, a Liberty program record.
One of the all-time greats for Liberty lacrosse. Great career by her. All right, appreciate it, Rhett. Still to come, we go out of the office and onto the disc golf course with Liberty volleyball coach Trevor Johnson. Stick around. More Flame Central after this.
Welcome to Liberty University's online programs, where living out your calling with integrity is what you train to do. And getting ready for the future doesn't mean missing out on the now. Because a university is more than buildings and books. And an education should set you free, not fence you in. Welcome to Liberty's global campus, where distance learning was pioneered and evolved into one of the top-ranked schools in the nation. Where protecting your budget, your time, and your education isn't just a theory, it's our priority. Here, degrees in your field reflect industry demands and help you get ahead of the competition. Where college comes to you, but you can come to college too. Game day, homecoming, graduation day. Your school, your values, your experience, your choice. Welcome to Liberty University, where we train champions for Christ.
So you're looking for a university that's perfect for you, a school that has anything you could possibly need.
Anything?
You want a place that has the programs you want to study, and maybe a few more, just in case you change your mind.
I think I'm going to sign up for the fashion design program.
All right. A place with state-of-the-art facilities. I mean, look at this campus.
And who doesn't love big-time sports?
And great recreational activities.
Okay, now we're on a roll. Somewhere you can hike, slide, strike, shoot, climb, eat, and most importantly, eat. You want a place that takes you to space? Okay, maybe not, but we can teach you how to fly, or pastor a church, or run a business. And all that with a great view? Yeah, I think I know a place.
Welcome back to Flames Central, coming to you today from Liberty's beautiful College of Osteopathic Medicine. You know, disc golf is a sport that really seems to be exploding here in this part of the country.
Yeah, in fact, Liberty has its own disc golf course not far from where we are right now. And that fast-growing sport happens to be very popular with Flames athletes, some of our coworkers, and LU volleyball coach Trevor Johnson. He tells us about it in this Out of the Office.
It actually happened during the pandemic, so everything was shut down and we couldn't do anything. Brett, my assistant, kind of grew up playing it as a hobby, and so he's like, hey, come out disc golfing.
Brett, you beat me enough, but today I'm gonna kick your butt. Okay, little left in the tree.
It's awesome because it's outdoors.
Found it, scramble mode.
It's free. It's still competitive for me, so I still like getting after it.
Second shot, terrible first. Let's see if I can put this close. Through the rough. Something like that.
Brett's pretty good.
Cash.
But I give him a run sometimes.
Par. On to the next.
I'm super competitive, so whoever I play out here, whether it's Brett or even my family, I want to beat my son, and my son's 12, and you know, we're super competitive, but you know, I want to beat him, and I'm not letting up for him at all.
A little left.
What makes a good disc golfer is having a next throw mentality, and normally, like, my first throw is terrible, and so I know that, and I know that I just have to scramble at that point, and so that's what makes a good disc golfer is, can you scramble? Just like in regular golf.
Birdie!
Good players have bad memories. You have to forget about it and just move on to the next throw really quick. Getting time away from the facility and the job, it's a must, especially for us coaches. You know, oftentimes we're defined by the wins and losses, you know, and so like just being out here with the family and forgetting all that and not worried about recruits or, you know, who did I make mad today at practice or whatever, and just throwing some disc. You know, you're not gonna get in trouble for throwing a bad disc.
We're through.
You know, it's just a good time just to relax and compete.
Oh yeah, that could be really good.
Playing disc golf with my staff has been awesome. I think it helps our unity as a staff, and we're able to figure out and know each other more so than just coaches. You know, we're actually friends, and we actually truly care about each other, and we invest in each other. And I think our girls see that, you know, when it comes time to be on the court and be in practice. So that stuff goes a long way, and I think it's really helped our staff for sure.
Oh, booyah. We're through. Dude, that's like one of the best shots I've ever thrown. I'm done.
We talk all the time about with our athletes to be where your feet are, you know, and for me, like, my feet are right here, right now, and I'm just trying to be here and trying to be present. Disc golf truly reveals that for sure, because you have to be present each and every shot.
Right at you.
You know, it's a time for me just to refocus and to be outside and to listen to the birds and just to be in nature. Also competing at the same time is really fun for me.
So I walk my dog Stanley on that disc golf course here at Liberty, and he tries to chase after everyone's disc, so I don't really know if I'm allowed.
No, they don't like the discs being returned to them, I don't think. Well, hey, we are about out of time this week. As always, libertyflamecentral.com for any stories you might have missed.
And Flame Central Podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage. It's the most entertaining podcast around. For Matt, I'm Emily.
We'll see you.